Sitting around the ballroom, they're talking about tomorrow when they're taking Johnny away. Said he wasn't no good, never done the things that he should. That's all the judge had to say. He went in the army when he was 18. Crazy young Irish and mean. Took a kid who was half gone all the way to be wrong with bloodlust and them 16s. His father, he thanks us for coming.
All right. We're back. We've definitely never done this in front of, like we did it at Lily P's.
Yep.
Live, but at Lily P's, we weren't like, they didn't have the setup.
Yeah.
Right? We got, by the way, Jinty on sound right now.
Yeah,
Mixing for us.
Jinty's hooking up the sound.
Danny's going to be here late, so we got Josh the Ironworker here with us.
Hello.
By the way, he got one from your buddy, like, oh, this is Josh the Ironworker. Like he's like, as you said to my dad that time, you're like, it's nice when you meet people and they're like actually happy to meet you.
I love when someone says, "Oh wow, Josh the Ironworker, what a legend." I'm thinking to myself, Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't know anybody who actually knows me at all. Never mind. But
Well, I think historically you would have been known for negative connotations
yes,
more than
yes.
positive.
I've caused a lot of problems in my life, and but when people are excited to see me, I'm pretty excited about that.
Josh was on cloud nine when someone was like, "Oh, you're Josh the Ironworker? Oh, legend."
Legend.
I like when he told Courtney that, hey, listen, just a heads up, there's gonna be a lot of people like looking to talk to me. And
And the first thing that happened is some guy's like, it was Fonz. He's like, Josh the Ironworker?
Josh, are you Josh the Ironworker? It's like, I'm like, I said to Brendan, I'm like, there's never been a time in my life when anybody has been excited to see me. So I'm gonna embrace it, and I love it.
they were all
Just like you do. Just like you do.
Oh yeah, yeah. They were all fighting up to see you at the comedy show. Like they didn't even have your real name there. They just said Josh the Ironworker.
And it was kind of a mess at that event, so I was kind of disappointed about it.
Yeah, but that worked
here we
out to
are.
your advantage.
So we're at the
'cause you were
we're at the Dot Tavern. We
We're
have
at the
Jeff
Dot
Clough
Tavern.
with us.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Famous
Great.
return to the ring, one of the best returns to the ring ever. And we're happy to be here. This place is fucking great, isn't
Yeah,
it?
great spot.
I'm wearing one of the sickest hats I think I own. This Dot Tavern hat's sick.
Yeah.
That's a
right?
sweet
Yeah.
hat.
Yeah, it's a good lid. It's good for like, you know what? It's a Richardson 112. That's a hat made for big-headed men. You know what I mean? So, it's good. And we're going to talk about... Now, you grew up in Dorchester. Born and raised.
I did, yeah. So I'm actually embarrassed to say I've actually never been to the Dot Tavern. I used to deliver pizzas for Patty's Pantry right across the street. Hey, Jinty, we got a little feedback here. So, yeah, I used to deliver pizzas for Patty's Pantry across the street, so I know the area pretty well. This Dot Tavern wasn't here 30 years ago, I don't think, though, right? Was it something else?
I think maybe, yeah, something else.
Must have been
I don't know.
something
Megan, who owns it... There we go. Megan, who owns it, is Jinty's girlfriend.
Uh-huh.
So I met her. I went out to Jinty's show. I had played a show earlier that night at Lily P's, and then I went to that, and I was like, I was housed, obviously, as you would expect. It was Patty's week. And I was talking to her. She's like, you guys should come do it from here. And I'm like, yes, let's do that. Absolutely. And it worked out perfectly because you live in Dorchester.
Yeah, that's right. I'm right down the street. And I have to say, before we get things rolling, we got a picture of Marky Mark here up on the wall. All chiseled. Yeah, that's you, Jinty.
Yeah.
And I have to say, like, you know, love him or hate him, like, there's a lot of haters out there with Marky Mark, but I gotta tell you, everybody from Dorchester is like, oh, you got a Marky Mark story. I played baseball with Marky Mark when I was 9.
Yeah.
He was 12. He smoked butts and shit. He was like kind of he like an OG. Anyway, smoking butts at 12 was pretty sweet. But anyway, I saw him like probably 10 years ago. I saw him at the Four Seasons. We had a sales meeting at the Four Seasons. And I've been talking to people at work about like how I've known Marky Mark for all these years. I played baseball and this and the other thing. So I'm like, I gotta go over and talk. I gotta go talk to him. I gotta go harass this guy. I have to be that guy.
Yeah.
So I go over, right? He's with his posse at the Four Seasons. I take a knee, and I'm kind of, down next to him.
He's with
I'm
the
like,
Funky Bunch?
He was with some sort
He
of
was with the Funky Bunch, yeah.
Yeah, he was. So I go, I'm like, hey, Mark. I'm like, yeah, you remember me? And I don't know if he did or he didn't, but he acted like, he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, how do I know you? I'm like, oh, we used to play a little baseball together. he's like, oh yeah, acting like he remembers me. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, you staying out of trouble? Like that's his line. Because I saw him one other time. He asked me if I was staying out of trouble. I'm like, yeah, Mark. Yeah, I'm at the Four C's. I'm in finance. No big deal. But whatever. But anyway, I was like,
staying out of trouble.
Yeah, staying out of trouble. I'm like, hey, congrats on all your success, and I screwed. But anyway, real quick, I have to say, he walked out of there, right? Because I'm with all my coworkers, like at the Four Seasons bar, and he's walking out of there, and he like gave me a hey, hi, take it easy, like good to see you, like big wave, kept it up there, like hey, he knows me, he's not just making it up.
He's a man
So
of the people.
I
Brendan
appreciated him,
fucking
like, not being a
hates him.
dickhead.
Yeah,
No.
he was cool.
I'm
Brendan hates him.
I'm in. Listen, we're in Mocky Bar country right now, so I'm gonna put everything, shelve everything.
You know who's a good dude? Donnie and Bobo.
Bobo lives right behind my mother.
Yeah, Bobo's a good guy.
Yep.
I know you hate Marky Mark.
I'll be taking strays in here in 10 minutes.
Josh, just remember, Brendan's our ride home. Don't get him beat up before we go home.
I'm just saying. I've heard him say it before on the
I know,
podcast.
he
Like
said
he
it a
hates
lot.
Marky
He
Mark.
said it a lot of
And
times.
I don't blame him for it. I like Donnie more. I think, but
Yeah.
But you're always a new kids guy.
well, I'm a New Kids guy, like just from growing up.
Well,
New
the
Kids-
dancing is what you like the most about it. That's what
Yeah,
I
you know what,
remember.
Marky.
New Kids
his
is
real
where
name?
it's at.
What's
Donnie
Marky
was-
Mark's
Donnie
real
was a
name?
fucking-
What's Marky
Mark.
Mark's real name?
Mark Wahlberg.
Oh yeah, yeah,
He sells burgers.
yeah. It's not a great name.
All right,
burgers
so
and fries.
real quick, we're talking neighborhood characters tonight. You chose this, Jeff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Let me just, real quick, I want to say this one more time. This place is awesome. If you're in the area,
Yeah.
you should stop by 840 Dorchester Ave. This place is great. The beer is cold. The environment is money. This is like a perfect place for us to
They
be.
pour a fucking great pint of Guinness.
Yep.
Great pain.
I fucking love it.
Absolutely
Great pint.
tremendous.
I'm on back there behind the bar. I'm on Aaron.
Yeah.
Before we
Killing it back there.
get into the topic of the day, can I just make one thing clear? Because I this has been months and that I've been chewing on this, and one thing that I said in the last time I was on the podcast was that God wasn't real.
Yeah.
We were talking about that. We were talking about ass play.
Yeah.
I want to set the record straight here. God is real.
He is,
I feel
yeah.
like God is real,
Yeah.
and I was wrong about that. And I was also wrong about ass play.
You're-
I don't want to be a part of ass play anymore. I mean, it's not. It's really. It's
There's
really
too much
not.
debris coming out of there.
Nah, it's just there's a lot of debris.
A lot of debris.
and it's not as fun as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
So there's two things that I want to clarify from the last time I was on
Good.
the podcast. God is real. If anybody was offended by that, and ass play is not fun.
So you're out. You're out on ass play. You know why?
Half the bar just exited.
You were talking about it too. You and I were talking about it. It's like ass play's like, you know what I mean? It's fun like when you're 21 or
Right, yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun when you're 13.
Once you
You know.
once you
And you're in
yeah,
church.
But then
If you're in church.
you lose the yeah, church.
Once
But
you-
then you lose like it's experimentation. Then you lose that. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Right now,
It's
you
like-
know.
You don't get the rush anymore.
Yeah, you don't. There's no rush.
But-
Yeah.
But you know what the thing is? You know what the one thing is? It's like Brendan when he went hiking and he wanted to hike and he was like thinking like, okay, I'm gonna try this out. Like I tried it. I'm a guy that likes to try things.
Absolutely.
And I tried it and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
And you know what? I found out very quickly that
Found the hard
wasn't gonna
way.
work
Yeah,
out.
you're only
So
human.
here we go. So I just want to clarify that for the audience and here
You
we
know
go.
what? It's good because we're getting a lot of DMs asking about it.
Well, there's a lot of people thinking like, this guy's into ass play. And he's like, listen, no.
I'm saying
Well, it's
this.
as important to find out what you don't like as it is to find out what you do like. right?
Exactly.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
know what? You know what the funny thing is? You don't want to get into ass play with your wife 14 years into the marriage. Like, it's kind of late. In the
I don't
game.
want my wife's fingers smelling like that. It's getting what it boils down to for me.
It's like
She's cooking Sunday sauce afterwards.
gotta get.
I
You
know
gotta
where
get.
those fingers have been. I don't want you making my meatballs.
It's like fresh out of the shower, Fitzy, like we were talking about. Fresh out of the shower was one thing.
You guys are chatting on
Like,
this?
but 15 minutes out of the
we did
shower?
it.
No, we got.
Yeah, it's not.
You know what I mean?
you only like ass play in the tub now. From now on.
Like you always liked it.
After a colonic.
Since he was young.
You got to do some colonoscopy prep before we're doing any ass play.
Yeah, like stay. Hey, let's
At
stick
this
to.
point, we're
let's
40.
Stick to,
We're 40 plus years old, dude. Chill out with the ass play.
let's
you know?
stick. Let's stick to the frontal region. We'll
Yeah,
stick
we'll
to
just-
the vagina.
just
We'll
settle
stick
for
to the
like regular-
breast. We'll stick to the
yeah, we'll-
vagina. We stick to the breast.
It's like
we
it's
stick
like
to the
your
mouth.
Dunkin's order, a medium regular.
Exactly. Let's keep it simple. Keep it simple.
We're
That's
not
what I
going
always
from
say.
the back, you know.
When it comes to sex, keep it simple.
That's what Court calls her. She's like medium regular.
She's
Yeah.
like, really? I mean, it's hard enough. Honestly,
God
we're all
willing.
married for a little while now, right?
God willing, it's hard enough.
to get to the frontal region. Never mind to the back region.
Yeah, you know what though? Like my brother Adam's over there, and in his frontal area, his belly button smells like an asshole.
I mean, not for nothing. Like, I don't want, and there's no exploratory region. Like, I'm not saying to court, like, hey, come to the back region for me, right? Because I think it's terrible back there. It's terrible. But
Put up some hazard tape.
Why does every Josh episode end up about poop and ass play?
I think anybody who's listening to the podcast knows that I'm gonna kind of steer to that direction. But what I'm telling everybody is, and I'm gonna leave it at this: God is real, because I had an experience, and I'll tell you about it later in the show. God is real, and ass play is not good.
All right.
Here we go.
Okay, so we're talking today. We're doing. We're gonna do neighborhood characters, right? You came up with this, Jeff.
Yeah.
I love it. Now, as Fitzy pointed out to me and Josh, as we're from soft as church music Melrose, we didn't have the same level of characters, probably, right? But
Growing up in Somerville and growing up in Dorchester, there was a lot of characters around.
Tons.
You know what I mean? And it was like Melrose. I moved to Reading, so we don't have like the vagrants that would just mill around Dunkin' Donuts that we used to have in Somerville. And I assume Dorchester had the same type of people.
yeah,
You
for
know what I mean? Like, I'd be at Little League games, and I'd see these people collecting cans. And these characters were
Coaching.
We used to call collecting cans as they're coaching Little League. They'd be like, these people are not normal historically or
historically, talking about Sam Adams, you're the fucking.
They're not in the history
The
books.
fucking Freedom Trail
These
right
are
now.
the people that history forgot.
Oh yeah,
You know what I
these
mean?
people only live on like by word of mouth.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
no
they-
one's,
yeah,
no
nobody-
one's
nobody
writing
wrote
Passed
about
down
it.
like
No
lore
one's
throughout
writing
the
down.
days, you know?
No one's writing down the fucking stories of these critters. We used to call them critters in some of them.
All right, you want to start?
I'll start.
Go ahead.
So we had this guy. He couldn't have been more than 4'10". He was an honorary firefighter. So he had a badge on his jacket, pinned to his jacket. He also had a Medford fire hat that he would wear, right? So obviously we called him Chief. He had a badge and a Medford fire hat, right? Now, you probably called a bunch of people Chief in your neighborhoods. Chief, Sport, Slugger. You
I
know what I
called
mean?
nobody that.
You didn't call
Hey,
anyone
Slugger.
Chief. Hey, Chief.
Slugger.
That's my guy Slugger over there.
Hey, Chief, nice arm.
Hey,
you know what I
Sarge.
mean? Like, yeah, Sarge. You used to call people that, right? This dude was called Chief
What's up,
because
Slugger?
he had a badge and a Medford honorary firefighter's hat, right? And every once in a while, you go up and you'd be like, hey, Chief, what's up? And he'd pull out the finger guns and he'd go, gotcha. Dude, standard 4'10". You know what I mean? I was like 12 hovering over the guy. And he looked emaciated. He was like sickly. So every once in a while I'd see him and I'd pull out the finger guns first and go, gotcha, and he'd get pissed off. He'd be angry that I fucking showed him up with his own bit, you know?
He stole his bit.
Fucking poor Chief. Actually, he's rest in peace. Chief's probably
Dead?
dead. Yeah, he was probably
By the way,
he was probably like 75, 80 when I was 12.
Yeah.
So if he's still hanging on, I mean, cockroaches live forever, but these critters out here, the Somerville critters, dude.
Dude, I feel like
Unbelievable.
in the current situation we're in, because we're on the sick couch, but you guys are both big guys.
I couldn't
and
sit-
I'm down here. I feel
couldn't
like
sit-
that
yeah,
chief
yeah,
guy
yeah,
right
chief.
now. Like I'm like I'm like a mini person right now.
Anytime you want to pull out the finger guns, it's nostalgia for me.
All right, Jeff, you're up.
All right, so we had a bunch of characters on Adams Corner. So we're in Savin Hill right now. If you go a little further south, you're gonna go to St. Brendan's Parish, Erie Pub area, Adams Corner specifically. But we'd hang out on the corner back in the day. That's what you did, right? As kids, you'd fucking hang on the corner, go around the drugstore, smoke bones, come out and like look at the characters all over the place. And there's this one guy, we call him Sneaky because he was a bum. I mean, a legit bum. And he was like, I mean, if he tried to make himself dirtier, he couldn't. Like, he was so brown and dirty. And he wore like a brown suit, too, I swear to God. Fucking brown hat, brown mud all over his face and everything. But the reason we call him Sneak is because you'd see him at the end of the street. He'd be like at the top of the hill, but be on Adams Corner, he'd be like way at the top of the hill. And then literally like 2 seconds later, you turn around and he'd be right next to you. He'd be like, Sneaky, fucking got us again. He snuck up on us again. And like, he was stinky too. He could have been called Stinky, but he was sneakier than Stinky. So that was a good one. That was a good name.
You'd almost smell him.
Do you know Sneaky? No?
You'd almost smell him before you see him. Classic Stinky.
Dude, there was this kid who, like, I was telling Josh this earlier, but like, we used to play at this one park, Gooch Park. We used to play hoops.
Gooch Park.
Yeah.
My brother Gooch right there. Good.
There we go.
Oh.
And it was in, like, when my dad grew up, what they called Cork City in Melrose.
How they spell Gooch?
Gooch.
Boom! My man, right
There you go.
That's my brother.
There you go. So anyway, so we're down there, and there would be
that
like
his name?
all these older dudes would play, and like a lot of these guys were like rag older Melrose guys, and there was this drug dealer named LD. He used to come down. He's dead now, so I can say this. He used to go down, right, and he would just sit on the bench. He looked like he was 55, but he was 25. He was bald, he was fat, and he would just have a huge dip in. He would put a Glock 9 on the bench and a wad of cash, and he would just watch hoops all day, and then like occasionally walk over to his car and sell drugs to somebody. Like, it was sick. Like, and he'd be like, and then like the ice cream truck would come and he'd just be like, I'll buy whatever for everybody. Like, I'm fucking rich. Yeah.
he's good shit.
Occasionally he would go and shoot like 1-3. And then he would sit back down. He was a fucking legend.
Man of the people.
Yeah, well,
He'd shoot a 3.
yeah. He'd shoot like 1-3. And be like, that would be it. Now, like, he'd go back and sit and watch.
Would he hit it?
But he had a
No,
Glock. He
no,
had a
he was
Glock.
fucking,
Yeah,
not a good athlete. Great drug dealer, but a bad athlete. Yeah.
Straight
One of the best
airball.
drug dealers in the game you've ever seen.
But he had a
Like,
Glock. He had a gun on the bench, so it was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's
Dude, you always
like
want-
He'd
He's
just
like-
fire the ball up in the air and shoot it.
So like this park, right, has lights, right? So my mother ran the athletic department for like the town athletic thing. So anyways, this year, like they hadn't turned the lights on in years. So I convinced her to start a league. It was our first year out of high school. I'm like, let's start a league down there and get other teams to come, and like we'll call it like night games or whatever, and they get the lights turned back on because it was only one night a week, but they would have the lights on all week, so that's why we liked it. So anyways, like this is back pre-internet, you know what I mean? So you don't know who anybody is, right? So I get this team of my buddies that were all like started on the hoops team at Melrose. I'm like, we're gonna roll. This dude comes in, right? He's from Alton. I can't remember his name, but somebody's like, I'm watching the kid warm up, and he's like 6'7". Somebody's like, he's going to Rice, and I'm like, dude, he fucking blocked my buddy into the street, like 7 cars deep, and there were all these guys that hung on this park were like kind of these drug older like wild crowd. And there were chicks there and shit, and this kid just fucking served my buddy, like, right up into the middle of the street. We had refs and everything, and, like, place just went fucking wild. The kid from Rice just dunking all over everybody's fucking dome. And I'm sitting there, we got beat by, like, 35. I'm like, I don't even want to play in this fucking league anymore. You know what I mean? Remember, I was like, you wanted it, you started it.
Speaking of Shane Gillis, he has a bit on white kids that think they're good at basketball.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they just run into the first black kid they see and they're like, yeah, I guess I'll just set picks for the next 4 years.
Dude, and the funny story about that is you went to UMass, right?
Yeah.
So me and Josh's buddy, Jim O'Malley, he's at UMass. He transferred. He went to St. Mike's with me, but he transfers, right? So they're like, what intramural basketball league should you be in? It's A, B, and C at UMass. So he's like, well, a couple guys started in high school, so like, let's go A. They show up, right? Teams, all black dudes. First thing that happens is they tip it, and the kid throws a half-court alley-oop pass and just dunks on something. Dude, if I told you what our buddy Sam looked like, he's like this little Jewish kid, like him, like he was like, dude, Sam was just he would put the ball on the ground, and this kid would just take it from him, and like just like, look at him.
The funny thing about like Jewish basketball players, like they do like a weird like little spin, like
all of them.
Everyone.
Most of them.
They call that the dreidel.
No, it's like they dribble the ball up and
it's a special move they learned in Hebrew school.
I'm thinking to myself, do all the Jewish basketball players do that? And then I realized like most of them do. Most of the Jewish basketball players. They
don't dribble, they dreidel.
No, they don't have good command of the ball. You know what I mean? So it's like he was always doing this weird little spin, and I'm like, I guess that's how the Jewish people play basketball because I don't know, maybe they don't. Maybe basketball isn't like that fucking prevalent in Israel. I don't know, but I'm like, Jesus Christ, these guys don't know how to play the game.
They love it though.
And
Jewish people love basketball.
They love.
Well, they had that kid, Jewish Jordan.
Well, they own most of the teams, but they
It's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they own the teams, but they don't know how to play the game.
I'll tell you a quick
Business wise,
go.
phenomenal.
As good
There
as
we
it gets. As good as
All
it
right,
gets.
there we go.
So I'll tell you a quick story about Jewish basketball people. I met the Celtics game. This is years and years ago. My roommate from college, Peter Papasso, his brother was working for the Celtics.
Yeah.
So we're driving in there, right? And his brother calls. He's like, "Hey, do one of you guys want to do the in between quarters trivia thing?" I was like, "Yeah, yes, of course." So they tell you the answer. I already knew the answer before we even went in, right? And it was Coach William May from WILD. I don't know if you guys remember WILD. It's an AM black station, 1090. I don't even know if it's still there, but anyway, Coach William May was doing the in between quarters trivia thing, and I knew the answer. So he asked me I can't remember what the question was, but I knew the answer. And what I got was this signed basketball it was signed by Jerome Moizu. Do you even know who that is?
No.
He was like I was better than him. And he played for the Celtics. I'm like, you couldn't get anybody else to sign this but Jerome Moizu? So they gave me, I got the question right, they gave me this basketball, this shitty, Celtics rubber basketball.
Yeah.
And as I was walking away, I'm like, I'm gonna go out partying after this. I'm gonna carry this shitty basketball around me all night. And there was a little Jewish kid sitting like in the rows. I was walking up the aisle. He had his yarmulke on and stuff, and I was like, "Hey, you want this?" Of course he wanted it. He was fucking pumped. Yeah, free basketball?
Hell yeah.
But he had a yarmulke and shit. He had basketball, like those yarmulke on the basketball that I put on. It was awesome.
Of course. Honestly, though, what do you expect? They gave you the answer to the question.
Yeah.
Right? So Jerome Moizu is who you get.
Jerome Moizu.
You know? Yeah.
Look him up.
That's
He
who
played
you
for the
get.
Celtics. I don't think he ever stepped on the court.
I'm not going to look him up.
I don't think we need to get.
I don't want you to. I made him up. He doesn't exist.
We don't need to get into like a ton of Jewish talk right now, but
Please. Yes.
Okay. So listen.
Talk about Josh's views on the Gaza Strip.
Well, I don't typically have like a lot of people that are in my neighborhood that I'm thinking about. Like, I don't have those stories. I feel like.
Well, tell the story you were telling me the car.
What, the porta lady?
No, you were telling me the story that this kid, he goes, so we get in the truck and he goes, there was this one dude who lived around the corner, he was this older guy, and he had a huge dick, and he beat the shit out of
my
Healy,
God.
about a Healy, and I go,
And
how
I
do you
don't
know
re-
he's
I
got a
don't even
huge
know-
dick? And he goes, I don't remember how he knew, but we just
I don't
knew.
know
And I'm
why.
like-
I don't know
I'm
why.
like, but the funny thing is, the reason he beat up Healy was because Healy said, you have a huge dick. And I'm like,
No.
is that something you beat somebody up over?
Wow.
Something you celebrate throughout the streets.
I gotta
he
be
beat him-
honest.
he beats you up with it.
I think the funniest part about the story is that he had a huge dick, and none of us knew why. Like, it wasn't like
Why? Like, was there a reason
how did
to
we
have
know
one?
that he had a huge dick? But then he beat my buddy up.
That's the proof
Like
that there's
outside
a
of his
God,
house,
right?
like we were walking by drunk one day, and he was like, "We knew that this kid had a huge dick," and then he beat my buddy up, and it was like, "Holy shit, that dude with the huge dick beat you up!" Like it was like, and we were young, like we were We were like 15 or 14, and we were like drinking and walking by, and it was like, holy shit, that dude with the huge dick ran out of his house and beat the fucking shit out of you. It was like, was he smacking you with his huge dick? It was like spanking you with his dick. It was like, I mean, I don't think he was doing that, but I mean, it would have been a great story if he was. He was like, not only did he put you in a full Nelson, but he was smacking you off the head with his fucking dick.
Yeah, he fucked you in the ass.
Oh yeah, he fucked you ass. And it never went into that direction, but I guess I you know what? I think that's probably one of the funniest stories of all time. Like a guy who lived in your neighborhood when you were 15 years old, you were drinking beers, you were walking by his house, maybe we ding-dong ditched him or something, I can't remember, and then he just came out and he just fucking beat the shit out of you. And he had a
was really
huge
confident.
dick.
It's like Home Alone, and they're like, look, that's old man Molly. Huge dick.
Yeah.
Beats up kids.
The best was we're sitting in
Spanks him
front of,
with
we're
his
sitting in
dick.
front of your
And I
house.
think
And I
he
go,
had
how do you know? And he goes, I don't remember, but we
Oh,
just
you know
knew.
what it was? I think he fucking whipped his dick out. He was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
don't come! Hey, don't ding
Don't
dong
come
my
around here
don't
anymore."
ding dong my house anymore."
Yeah.
Fucking, he was like, "You're not gonna ding dong ditch my house with this, right?"
Yeah.
He fucking had his dick
Next
in
time
his
you
hand.
ring my
yeah,
doorbell, you're getting all of this.
Every time his doorbell rang, he got a huge boner.
Start shaking it to the kid.
Yeah. It was stilted. Just absolutely like
He
hot
was
as a
like,
rock.
the whap.
He's like, bing,
Hey,
bing
by
bong.
the way, it's a great time to read a sponsor read.
Yeah.
You know who just walked in? James from Misguided.
Really?
Is here. Yeah.
Big Bad James, baby.
Big Bad James. Misguided Spirits. Misguided Spirits. So we know. I mean,
Oh,
listen.
Jeff, I'm good.
Some of the best booze that they sell in the business. The best bottles, by the way. You look at a badass having this shit. They sell it at Misguided. They sell Misguided at Malden Fine Wines. They sell it at Ball Square Fine Wines. That's at Somerville and Malden, those two locations. And there's Danny Gillis coming out of left
Here he is.
to fucking relieve Josh the Ironworker.
All right.
Misguided Spirits. So listen.
You stay there.
James just walked in. He's our guy. We know that. I don't think Danny. Oh, Danny's met James. By the way, my internet doesn't work, so I can't tell you, but it's misguided-spirits.com. I like the Hinky Dink whiskey. That's what I like the best. All right? They're the balls. Danny,
What's up, boys?
how are we?
Trying to get here as fast as I could, but I'm
Yeah.
here.
How'd the flag football go?
My son's almost gonna walk home. He missed two picks, dropped. Yeah, not like his character.
Oh no, he dropped 2 picks?
Dropped 2 picks. But they didn't score, so it's all right.
Yeah. So we're
Hey, Fitz.
talking neighborhood characters. You just missed it. I got one coming. Thank you, Jinty. Unbelievable story from Josh about some guy who.
Unbelievable. he said he didn't have any characters in his neighborhood.
Dude,
He had one.
goes, I don't have a story like that. I go,
had
that's the
that
story
one
you
guy
told me in the
with the
car on the
hammer.
way here, dude. Like, he's like, yeah, the guy beat up the shit out of Heels. He had a huge dick. I'm like, how do you know that? He was like, I don't remember how you know that. And I'm like, well, it's kind of a big part of the story. You know what I mean? Like, what energy
He
though
knows.
the guy was throwing.
He
I
knows
kinda can't
exactly what.
I can't wait to actually hear
By the
that.
way, how badass is his hat?
Ooh, baby.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Gasoline.
Smoking, right?
Adam White in the building. I see him in the back. He didn't even see me.
Nice. All right, so listen. What do you got for characters? I'm throwing you right into the
That's fine.
bits.
I have 3 right off the bat. First one.
Start with one.
No, obviously. But there's a fellow by the name of Oscar, who I grew up with down the Newer Projects.
Oscar's a sick name. Thank you very much.
Oscar is a sick name. I think Jinty got me a Guinness. But,
Yeah, that's my brother Adam. Right there.
oh, perfect. Perfect. Very nice to meet him. Fella named Oscar. Clearly, when you first meet him, you know something's wrong with him.
Yeah.
Known him since I was a young pup. Up until his mom got hit by a car, he lived with her. He's in his mid-50s right now, I
Yeah.
would say. Still lives down the hood. Still, like, anytime we had, like, parties or whatever, all the cans went to him. He knows the Red Sox schedule by what time the bus comes by. But the number one reason why he's a character is he wrote his own book, and there's not one grammatical anything correct in it. It's one...
Oh, is this the hamburger book or whatever?
The
it is?
Hamburger Horrors,
The
baby.
Hamburger Horrors.
The Hamburger Horrors. You can
we've-
buy it on Amazon.
We've talked about
Yep.
that.
That's the number one thing that he's got going for him. And he wrote a sequel because I saw him recently. He's still kicking. Still doing the same thing.
People were begging for the sequel, I heard.
Yeah.
They were like, fuck, what happens next?
He has multiple girlfriends. He looks like dog shit. But, I mean, it's the best. He's the best.
So, did Malden Projects have like a publishing company that they would put
No.
out books?
No.
But no, because I'm not joking, because some of the projects had publishing companies where they would let project residents write books and publish them for them.
Is that real?
No.
Yes, it's 100% real.
So we had like it was part of the YMCA. It was a resource. Like we had like dances there. It's where we did karate, computers, do your homework, pool tables, all that shit. It's still there, but I don't even think it gets used anymore. Someone out of there got wind that this guy wanted to make a book, and I'm pretty much funded him.
Yeah.
So just out of the kindness out of his heart, and he like wrote it on like the back of like napkins and shit, and then finally like sent it to this company. And I can only imagine the amount of papers these people got, and they were like, "Is this a real life thing?" But yeah, you can still buy it. Hamburger Horror is some of the greatest art you'll ever see.
There was this guy who bounced at Beer Garden in Salty when I was living in Salty, and he knew that like I was dated this girl from Salty for a little bit, so I played a couple fundraisers like music. So he was like, "I love your music." There's this guy named Mike, rag dude. He was like from Salty, and he's like, "I want to use your music in my movie. I got a movie that's being greenlit." And I'm like, "Sick, yeah, definitely." He's like, "I'm gonna give you the script so you can read it." Dude, this script, like I was looking at it, I'm like, this is the worst script I've ever read in my life. It started out with it was when that time was happening where like people were making the movie Salty, and like the worst, like everything fed off of fucking gorilla hunting, and then they were just like on a run with it. And it was like the first scene was like two guys on a boat, and he's like, "Did you like the part?" I'm like, "It was great, Mike. It was great." I gave it back to him. He's like, "Did you like the part of the boat where he goes, 'You're a rat. I knew you were a rat'?" And I'm like, it was deep. It was some of the deepest writing. Like it was the most ludicrous, like ABC. Like you could do this. Like you'd throw it into AI and be like, "Write me a shitty script about Boston," and they'd be like, they'd pump this thing out.
So Salty is one of those movies where when it's on like Tubi TV or whatever, I'm watching it.
Listen, I had a bunch of buddies in that movie, and it was fucking horrible. What a horrible movie. I mean, I knew like half the cast. They were fucking awful.
It's just so fucking.
It was so bad. So
like,
bad.
What's her name that plays
That
the
was the
drunk
Donnie Wahlberg production, wasn't it?
So Donnie's in that. In the best scene is when Donnie's walking down with his sweatpants and his fucking Timberlands, and baddest white boy in Boston is playing behind him. Dude.
Oh, I know exactly.
Best scene you're ever gonna see in fucking Boston movies.
How about Rose McGowan? She looks when she's sober, she looks drunk.
Hey,
so she was like, "I'm gonna play a drunk." I'm like, "What? You don't have to do that."
The best is she falls out of the back seat with a six pack in the bottles.
Yeah, she's
spilling
like, "Yeah,
out.
let's give her one more couple."
No.
Dude, that's when we were playing. Me and my buddy were in Vegas, right? And we're at a blackjack table, and the woman dealer was like, "My son is a filmmaker." She was like, understood we were from the area. She's like, "And I'm from like that, like Dorchester." And we're like, "Oh, nice." She's like, "Yeah, he just made a movie called Blue Hill Ave, right?"
Oh.
And she's just throwing, dude, she's just absolutely murdering us. Like, we were like Clough Griswold in the fucking scene in Vegas Vacation. And my buddy looks at her and goes, "I feel like I'm living on Blue Hill Ave right now. like they're fucking murdering us."
There's a Malden name drop at the end of that movie.
Is there?
Yeah, he's like, "You gotta go to your aunt's house." She's like, "Why?" He's like, "Because they'll never find you in Malden." I was like, "Oh, shit. We made it."
You'll hump on the couch.
Oh, 100%. Rewound it 5 times on a VHS.
All right, Fitzy, you're up.
All right, so I got a guy. So me and my brother used to play outside in front of our house, and there would be a dude.
I thought you were going to say beat off together, but this is fine.
This isn't we didn't grow up in Dorchester. So
I'm watching my brother beat off right now. Knock it off.
So we used to like play, like we didn't have like a yacht or anything. So like playing sports, we'd be in the middle of the street and it'd be like cars coming down, game off, okay, game back on, you know what I mean? There was a couple kids in the neighborhood that we used to play with. There was a dude that used to walk around Winter Hill area of Somerville. And when me and my brother were younger, he had a suit on all the time. Like a suit, like you were talking about the brown suit and the dirty stinky, had a suit on.
Sneaky.
And he was sneaky, stinky, whatever his name was. So this dude...
He was stinky, but it was sneaky.
So me and my brother, I want to say we were like 12 and 10, right? And this dude, we seen him, and we didn't have a ton of friends around the area at that point, because we had just moved up to Winter Hill, we were from Lincoln Park. So we started calling this dude Sue. You know what I mean? Because it was middle of summer, 80, 90 degrees, and he's wearing a fucking suit in like an orange undershirt, a brown suit with an orange undershirt. And was just like, hey, Sue, what's going on? And every once in a while, you get pissed at us, right? So one day Mark Fitz just fucking takes the hose out and sprays the fuck out of him.
That's fucking horrible.
And I'm like, yeah, let's fucking go, Mark. And then my mother comes out, she's like, why are you spraying that poor homeless dude? And we're like, he's not homeless, he's fine, he's got a suit on. And I was like, it wasn't my idea anyways, Mark did it. I used to always blame my little brother for shit, you know?
The best. The kid
It's usually the other way around. It's usually the younger brother.
I would cheer him on. I'd be like, yeah, fucking spray that bum.
And then tell on him.
And then right when she came out, I'd be like, Mark did it. Sorry, Mom, it wasn't me. I'm the firstborn.
Well, it sounds like he needed it anyway, right?
The bum needed it. Yeah. He wasn't as bad as Smelly,
Sneaky.
but he wasn't great.
Sneaky.
He wasn't great.
He wasn't doing well. And then come to find out that everyone in Somerville knows this dude, and they call him Crackhead Bob. His name's Bob, right? And now,
Poor Robin.
I don't think he's. I've seen him. I would say within the last 2 years, I've seen him. So there was rumors too that he lived with his mother. He used to abuse his mother. Cops used to get involved from time to time. Somerville's a dangerous place,
Pretty
dude.
heavy
Brendan.
part of the podcast.
We're not talking Melrose, baby. We're talking the streets.
Dude,
Lord protect me.
Lord protect me, those
Lord
streets. That's a
protect
great
me
shirt.
while I'm in these
I
streets.
fucking love
It's a
it.
great shirt.
So shout out to Suit, aka Crackhead Bob. Every once in a while, hit him with the hose. See how it works out.
Is he still with the company? Still alive?
I think so.
Still doing crack?
I don't know. I don't know if he ever did crack.
That just stuck his
That's
nickname?
his name. That
He
was
lives
his
in
name.
Fitzy's basement now. That's what he's fucking doing.
I got him chained up down
You got
there.
you got 9 different suits.
Yeah.
You
He's
know
got a
what I mean?
shirt on the back
feed
that
him.
says Go Rockets.
I feed him cheese ends.
How big's his dick?
Huge. He's from Malden.
All right, you're up.
I'm up. All right, so just real quick, you mentioned Southeast. Brendan, you still live in Southeast?
Yeah.
So there was a guy. I'm married to my wife Michelle's from Southeast. Her family Southeast forever, decades and generations. Anyway, this isn't mine, but I just want to throw it out. I want to give a shout out to Queer Bill. There was a guy in Southeast, Queer Bill. Do you know who it is?
No idea. No. I
So
just
this
love
guy
the
Queer
name.
Bill. Apparently you pay him $10, he'd suck your dick.
What a
That
guy.
was- yeah.
It's a bargain.
Yeah, really. I mean,
Building
I take that
19 and
back.
gay guys.
I take it back.
but it's pretty good. It's a pretty good deal, isn't
It's
it?
not a bad deal.
But he used to say shit like, someone broke a window, like playing baseball, like someone broke someone's car window, like, that's 10 trips to Queer Bill's, you know what I mean? Like, but the guy I was going to talk about was this guy we call him Big Guy. He was a character on Adam's Corner, and he was, it's an oxymoron, like Jumbo Shrimp. We call him Big Guy, but he was little. He was like 4'8", maybe. And the poor bastard, like, we just would harass this guy. Little kids, that's what you do. You find some character and you harass him. And he was dressed in a suit all the time, too, Fitzy, like, fucking all dolled up. And he was a nut. But we used to harass him, and he used to always be upset with us because if you swore, he would, like, reprimand you. Like, he'd hear you swear, and he'd be like, what's with that language, like, I'd be like, oh, fuck you, big guy, And one time, we're all fucking driving by on our bikes, like, fucking, fuck you, big guy, fuck you, big guy, fuck you, big guy, you know what I mean? He's like, nice fucking language on fucking Holy Week. But we just tortured this poor bastard. My brother used to drive him around when he was, like, later in his years. My brother worked for East Care, like this ambulance place.
Yeah.
And he said he was, like, a nice guy. He was actually nice until you dropped the big guy on him. And he had Napoleon comic books like you read about, right? But we just tortured this poor bastard. And
He didn't like the name Big Guy?
No, he didn't like how small he was.
I mean,
I
if
don't think anyone would like
you're
that.
48 and people calling you big guy.
Here's a character that I could get into a little bit real quick. So my mother's brother is a genius, very smart guy. Lives in California. He like was a professor, college professor, everything. But he's like he's up and down. He's like a. Anyways, so like he would come to visit like once a year. My father's listening to this right now. My father would be like, "Fucking Gary's coming." Like now, like when I was a kid, like when we were little, it was like drugs are bad, right? I remember like they're like, "Don't fucking do drugs." I'm reading like a book with my mother in 3rd grade, and my uncle Gary comes back, and she's like, "How was your night?" And he goes, "Oh, sucked. Some broad stole my weed." And I was like, "What the fuck is going on in this house? Like this guy's doing weed." So, anyways, as I got older, whatever. So, I'm drinking beers at my parents' house. I'm probably like 22, 23, right? Guy was also an incessant ball buster. He was like, "Wow," he's like, "Are you working for U.S. Steer? You look like you put on some pounds, Brendan." I'm like, "Thanks, Gary." So like we're sitting there and I'm like kind of half in the wrapper and he looks at me, he goes, "Brendan, let me ask you a question. You smoke weed?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, sure." And he goes, "Take this." And he hands me a joint, right? He goes, "That's not the regular bullshit you're getting around here. That's Humboldt County. That's speed weed. You're gonna need one hit of that and you're gonna be flying." Right? And I'm
He's like, "This is angel dust."
I'm like, "This is fucking sweet," right? So I take it, immediately fucking crank it on the way back to Southie. I was living in Southie. Go to dinner the next week at my parents' house, right? My mother goes, "Huh? Uncle Gary give you some weed?" And I go, "What?" She goes, "Yeah. He told your grandmother you smoke weed and he gave you it and you love it." And I'm like sitting there, I'm like just like was hoping to choke on the pork tenderloin that I was fucking eating. I'm like, "Gary, you rat. You
Yeah.
fucking rat."
Rat fink.
Yeah, my uncle's a
That's
rat.
bad drug pushing right
100%.
there. You can't push the drug and then tell us.
Tell
You can't be
That's
given
the total opposite of what you want to do.
exactly. You can't be giving the fucking drugs to
He's
somebody
like,
and then
take
be
a picture
telling
of
on
you.
them. You know what I mean? LD wouldn't do that with
No.
his 9mm on the bench. Never told anybody. All right, Danny, you're up.
All right. I didn't plan on talking about this guy, but you kind of made me remind him. This guy was a Malden legend. His name was Ernie the Midget, a legit midget.
Ernie Block Jr.
No, Ernie Bach Jr.
Ernie the Automatics. Up next, folks.
Ernie the Midget. Straight up
By
wind
the way,
up.
hold on, I'm going to interrupt you. Fuck Ernie Block Jr.
Yeah, fuck
That's
him.
all I got to say.
Fuck him.
Real
Yeah.
quick, I just want to make that point.
Fuck him and
He's
fuck
a
his
fucking zero.
Fuck Ernie Block Jr. too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
By the way, Herb Chambers from Dorchester.
Yeah, good guy.
Fact.
Fucking good
yeah.
guy.
And he hates Ernie Block too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Herb,
Everybody does.
Herb lands in Somerville every Friday on his helicopter over by
At the
Mercedes-Benz.
Mercedes one.
Does he
yeah,
really?
Yeah, grabs his check, takes the fuck off. It's nice.
Dorchester guy though, you're right.
Literally every single Friday.
You know who's not a Dorchester guy?
Ernie
Block
Block.
Jr.
Yeah, Ernie
He's
Block
like a
and Ernie Block
fucking-
Jr.
Yeah, he's a zero. Go ahead.
Ernie the Midget. Not to be confused with Ernie Block.
Thank God.
Complete wino. Just your average neighborhood drunk. But never had money, never had a job. He used to bounce at the Squire. If you know what the Squire is, it's a strip club. And he was 3'7". It was like more of a joke than anything.
Yeah.
But he would help out. Like my mom and dad were both bartenders at the time, and I've told the story before on here. But my father was like trying to get with my mom at the time, and he wanted to play a prank on her, so he opened the bar up first because she knew he was coming. Sorry, he knew she was coming, and so he put Ernie in the ice chest. My mom opens the ice chest to put ice chest, and a fucking human pops out. Motherfucker, how'd you get in here? He's like, "That was from Jinty." Like a little fucking lawn gnome, right? But Ernie, one of my favorite stories, like he used to stand in front of the packy every single day, and he would ask for the exact amount of change to get a natty daddy that would get him fucking noodle.
Yeah,
Right?
cooked.
So whatever he had in his, he would know his math, and he'd be like, "Hey, I need 78 cents." He's like, "I got a big landscaping job next week. I'll make sure I'll get back to you." Never happened, right? So, long story short, I would always hand, I've known him my whole life. Here you go, I'll get you change. I don't need change, Ernie. Grab a candy bar. Put on some weight, will you? Something like that. But my favorite was, there was a bar in Malden. It's not there no more because of COVID. But there was a place called Jack's. It was a restaurant, but a lot of bar flies in there too. And he would stand outside there and just wait to ask people for money. Well, right next to Jack's is Carrier, the people that do like the air conditioners, the commercial air conditioners and shit. Well, the guy, the regional director, used to always go to Jack's and eat whenever he was in town. And he would see him. He was like, "Hey, you got 78 cents?" And he pulled out a $100 bill, and I watched it happen. He goes, "This should take care of me for a year. Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me alone."
All right,
and he
hold
was
on.
like, "What?"
All right, I'm gonna jump up to use the bathroom. Jinty, you want to slide in and talk to these guys for a minute while I use the bathroom? Yeah, slide over and take this one.
Hey, watch these.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so we got Jinty coming in.
Jinty,
Absolute legend.
the first person I seen when I walked in this place. What are you drinking, bud?
What's up, motherfuckers? I
What?
just got back from Florida, so I'm drinking some island stuff.
That looks like an island drink.
I came back today, and the weather here sucked.
Yeah.
Just when I came, so I was like, I gotta keep the vibe going and get the island drinks. Keep
Very
it going.
nice, very nice. It
What's
looks
the crack with you boys? I didn't see you in a couple of weeks.
I
How's
know,
things
it's been a
on, bud?
while. Since we seen you, you ran the marathon.
I did run the marathon.
How did that go?
Let's go.
Just about. I was nervous starting it. I was 2 miles in. I had to go for a wee straight away. I took off. I did a 10-minute mile for the first 14 miles. Then I met my buddy, Robbie Croft. We ran the rest of it together. We walked a bit, ran a bit. You know what I mean? We were like the Pope, kissed some babies, drank some Bud Lights.
Let's fucking go.
go.
Got there
The
5
people's
hours.
champ.
That's my type of
Yeah,
marathon.
that's the people's champ.
It was a miracle that I finished it because
Dude, hats off to you. I couldn't fucking do it.
No.
26 miles?
26.2,
Holy
Brendan.
fuck.
I mean, Fitz.
Fitzy. I'm Fitzy, dude.
26.2, but I feel like the last point 2 is Boylston Street, but I felt like 2.5 miles.
Yeah.
Like, you get onto Boylston Street and you think you're in the home stretch.
And you're not.
It's not the home stretch.
How is
Boylston Street is long.
Heartbreak Hill?
I was on Heartbreak Hill. I thought it was Heartbreak Hill. I said to this guy, "Is this Heartbreak Hill?" He said, "Yeah." And I got to the top of this hill, and I was at the bottom of a big hill. I was like, "You motherfucker."
By the way, one of the first things I seen after you ran it was you downing a Guinness in milliseconds.
Yeah,
And
the
then just
Dublin.
staring at the glass, and I was like, that's the most epic fucking video I've ever seen. It was great.
And that was the shtick, as we like to call it, on the glass. When you drink Guinness
Yeah.
and you see the white rings on the glass,
Yeah.
that's good. So there's these pages on the internet that, like,
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know, you ain't gotta say no more there.
I
I
was
know.
like, no, the Guinness there is good. So that was like a good stick it to you, stick it up your hole.
Yeah,
As a nice point.
sure.
I'm all right a minute, thank you.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a good. But I think I must have said it to you guys when I met you. I was like, I am looking forward to a Guinness. I'm going to drink a Guinness and one sup when I finish this marathon.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
How
Yeah.
long was your recovery? I saw the video of you with the things on your legs.
Yeah. So for like 2 days, I was
Heard.
two days. Stairs were tough. Upstairs, downstairs was tough. I was supposed to go to Florida on the Tuesday, but I put it back to the following week. So I just went last week from Wednesday till I just got back this morning. Because we had a pop-up here at the Dot Tavern. We had a small business pop-up every once in a while. So we had a pop-up today, and then you guys were coming in, and I was like, I'm not missing that.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I'm going to be there.
How was Florida?
Florida was nice. We went to Clearwater Beach. Oh, it was
Yeah,
cool. It was,
beautiful, right?
No, I will say this: the Guinness sucked.
Oh, yeah.
The Guinness sucked.
I don't. You don't go to Florida for the Guinness.
You don't go to Florida for the Guinness. You're in warm weather.
Yeah.
I was drinking drinks that didn't make me feel like a man anymore. They were pink and
That's
shit.
fine.
but, yeah, it was-
Go for the girly drinks
They
in
still,
the
look,
beach.
they're still making you feel good.
I'm trying to keep the buzz going now till
Yeah.
tomorrow. Listen, I'm still on my holly bops, still on the vacay. Hey, this is your first time at the Dot Tavern. You like it?
You know what's crazy is I only got one kid other than the boys that I originally know. But my boy over there in the corner talking to Brendan and Josh, we went to school together right down the street for plumbing, and we would always end up in South Bay at Applebee's. Had I known this was here, this would have been the spot.
Oh, this is a spot.
You could walk here from.
How long? This been here for a while?
This has been here since I think I'm going to say the 70s. I might be wrong.
Oh,
but
really?
The Dot Tavern
I just
was-
never knew this was here.
I didn't know this was here.
I get my boots right across the street.
Yeah, it's wild, too.
Domestic
It's-
boot.
Hey, do you buy
It's
him,
huge.
You must buy him from Brandon
Yeah,
Wahlberg.
yes.
Do you see his picture right
Yes.
there on the wall? That's his uncle. We got him over here.
Yeah,
We got
he's,
nude Brandon Wahlberg
he's
on the
a.
wall.
I believe he's an electrician too, right? Or one of them is the guys that is. Once I saw I was getting off the exit, I go, oh my god! I go, I'm right near my hood. You know,
Yeah, this is the
a
nail,
taco place right next door. I go there every Tuesday.
Yeah.
The most miserable lady on earth, but she makes a good taco.
I don't care how miserable you are. I like your taco.
So who's playing after us?
There's a guy called Ryan McHugh. This guy is a serious musician. Ryan McHugh, he's in a band. I can't remember the name of the band, but he does solo stuff as well. Ryan McHugh's awesome. Really, really talented
Is he already
musician.
here? Because I thought I saw a guy grabbing some shit out.
Oh, so what happened was when you guys were coming in, a lot of the people from the pop-up were leaving, and we had musician, I think her name was Alex Brown. She was awesome. She was like Stevie Nicks. She was awesome. So we're kind
Jinty, take care of this feedback, will you?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure this out.
You're killing it there, really.
I was playing God here all day. Like, you can't do everything.
Are you jamming tonight?
Me, I'm not jamming tonight. I'm still on my vacation. I would have, but no, I took a couple of days off and I said I'll give it the rest of the week now. Next Friday night, Saturday night, I'll be at the Dubliner again.
Fuck yeah.
I give a lot in my trio.
Where's the Dubliner?
The Dubliner is
like right outside of Government Center.
Government Center.
Wait,
Yeah.
remember where Kinsale was?
Yes.
Right there.
Oh, I know exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
right across
That's
the
where you
city
jam
hall.
over there, right?
Every Friday, Saturday, unless we book musicians come in from Ireland, and I can kind of go do my own thing, or I play in the back room.
Me.
But yeah, the talent in there is unbelievable. The crowd is a good vibe.
It's
Hey,
awesome.
what do you think?
Me and Brendan and Josh went to see him. What was it? Month or two ago?
Yeah.
Dude, great place, great pint of Guinness, and Jinty. If you want to talk about someone who can control a room, this kid commands the microphone.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah, like right when you get on the mic, everyone quiets down for a second, and they're like, something serious is going on right here.
But I don't do much talking.
No,
When I'm on the mic, I don't talk at all because people can't understand me.
No, that's what I mean.
I talk and I tell a joke and it just goes
He
right over the head.
doesn't say anything, but
So-
all of a sudden you hear the guitar play and then his voice come over the microphone, everyone shuts up.
Nice.
It's fucking
Oh,
awesome.
I'm gonna go check you out. This is
Yeah,
Fridays and
Dubliner.
Saturdays.
Friday and Saturday
Saturday.
at the Dubliner. Every Friday and Saturday, right, Jinty?
Yeah, but it's a vibe. I like to roll it. I don't like to stop in between songs because I've been doing it for so long that I realise when I do, sometimes you can lose a crowd. Even sometimes I get to the second verse of a song.
You like to
and
stay in
it's,
G.
It's so boring. I'll stay in G for a half an hour.
Yeah, let's go.
But like, if I get the second verse of a song and I start to lose them, I'll just change the song.
Yeah.
And it's just a new thing.
Oh yeah.
Just goes
No,
in.
I listen. I listen to the podcast. I heard you talking about this.
I really
right?
enjoyed that. I really enjoyed
You
that.
don't want to lose them. Once you get them, you got to hang on to them.
It's 3 hours of my time. My job, what I get paid for, is to keep people dancing,
That's
keep
it.
people happy. They don't want to hear my stories. They just want to vibe and
They wanna
bounce
dance. They
all
wanna
around.
dance and jam.
Exactly. That's what I love doing. I get a kick from it. I get a buzz from it. That's my kryptonite. It's like
So who's jamming tonight? Is there somebody after this?
yeah,
Someone just said it. Ryan McHugh.
Ryan McHugh.
Ryan McHugh, okay.
Yeah. This guy's awesome. This guy's seriously talented musician. He does things that we'll have to go. There we go. I'm going to get Brendan back on because I got to go back to the bar. Hey, boys.
Hey.
Brilliant to see you all. How's the Guinness here?
Oh,
I feel like you got to give us a rating.
Yeah.
you want me to? I will.
It's a great pour.
Fucking very good. I mean, look at that.
Give it a rating. Look at that. That's
Come on.
Picture perfect right there.
We're in
And we're not talking about you.
This isn't the North Shore, Danny. I'm gonna pour a nice Guinness.
Oh, we got espressos up there.
This is Dorchester, kid. This is Dorchester.
Come on.
God, this is God's country. We do Guinness right here. Hey, boys, God bless you. I chat to you now, right?
All right, brother. What a guy.
So I got another one.
You want
Here,
your seat back?
Another neighborhood character, right? So I got this lady, Mary. Her real name's Mary, and in RIP, I think she's
passed.
left us as well.
Yeah, laid off.
People in Somerville known her as Matilda V. So she used to sit outside the Clarendon Hill Tedeschi's. So the Tedeschi's used to be there in Clarendon
Wait a
Hill.
second. Wait a second. Fitzy, are you
Yeah.
calling it Tedeschi's?
Yeah.
It's
It's Tedeschi's.
Tedeschi's?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, just want to make sure.
All right, Tedeschi's. So you don't say it? All right. So anyways, it was that. Are they still around? I think they're gone.
Oh yeah,
right?
no,
Oh, yeah, you know Tedeschi food truck? The Tedeschi food truck?
yeah.
A band?
Yeah,
That band's
Tedeschi trucks.
Yeah, fucking legit.
Sure, her family owns Tedeschi's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She owns Tedeschi's. So Mary used to stand out front, right? And you would walk out with your change or whatever, and she'd be like, "Hey, you got $6?" And I'm like, dude, I don't have any change. Never mind $6
Do you have a blank check you can write me?
Yeah, dude, she was fucking nuts. And I was like, what do you need $6 for? What the fuck, lady?
Oh, you got the daily double. And
I
then
was dumbfounded when she asked me for you got $6. And picture this lady, right? So picture a toad.
You change for a 20?
Picture a toad, right? A toad that you teach to like stand upright. Right? So like the backbone is curved anyways. So like she's standing there and she's just all like hunched over.
Yeah.
You know? Like tits on her knees. And that's Mary asking for fucking $6. And I'm like, Mary, what do you need $6 for? She's like, I need a pack of smokes. And at that point it was like $10 for a pack of Marlboros.
I gotta get my back fixed.
Yeah, she's like, I need a chiropractor.
Fucking GoFundMe.
Unbelievable, right? So then they tore down Tedeschi's.
There you go.
Right? They tore it down, and then up the street on Pearl Street, there was this place called Aggie's Place, which was a corner store. Like, so I moved to Reading. There's no more corner stores anymore.
No.
I got no corner stores out there. It's either like a liquor store or a sub shop or whatever.
7-Eleven, you have one of those?
No 7-Elevens. And there's no Mary's outside asking me for $6. And it makes me homesick.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
I miss Mary being out there saying,
That'll do it.
like a toad, you got $6?
Dude, I used to, when I worked.
No, I don't. Here's
real
50
quick,
cents.
Real quick ad, real quick. Ben Franklin Print Company. BenFranklinPrintCo.com. Listen, I don't have internet access in here, so we're going off the rip, right? Talk to our guy, Joe. I post this stuff every week. He's doing all our shirts for the golf tournament. They're Middleton, Mass. Way more than print. This stuff fucks, all right? They have the best fucking hoodies. They make the best shit in the game, all right? So it's a fact. Ben Franklin Print Company.
Brendan, can I just jump
yeah,
in
go ahead.
real
You
quick
got it.
and just tell you that based on pulling the cork, we're ordering reversible tanks for Friday morning company basketball
Nice.
crew.
Yeah.
And shot him an email the other day. Well, actually, I called him. I'm like, hey, you guys do shirts? Because you said on the podcast they do shirts, but on the website it looks like they just like wrap vans and trucks and shit. But he's like, oh yeah, we do shirts. We do shirts all fucking day. So we're getting based on this podcast.
That's how it works.
We are giving some.
I like it. Give some biz.
I'm gonna buy 2 shirts off him. No, we're gonna get
it's a 3-on-3 tournament.
Let's go, Joe. You can retire now.
Bunch of shirts for the finance guys. that
Let's
play
go.
I
basketball.
fucking love it. I love it. I used to work with this woman, like when I was like first out in my company, I worked nights at Home Depot, like to keep like because I was serving non-compete. I've talked about this before. But anyways, this woman, Charlene from Charlestown. Great lady,
That's
right?
such a Charlestown name.
Dude, I remember I was
Charlene.
Dude, I remember I was scratching scratchy, like in the fucking break room, and she goes, you know, you could just scratch right in between the numbers and you'll know if you won or not.
Oh, that's a-
And I'm like,
Hey.
right? So she goes to me, she was talking about her son, and she's like, yeah, I think your son's name was J-Mo. My buddy Levy's gonna listen to this and he'll correct me through. Her son's name was J-Mo, and she's like, yeah, he lives in Walpole. I'm like, oh, my brother-in-law lives in Walpole. And she goes, Walpole prison, kid. I'm like, all right, yeah,
There's a
different.
Walpole guy right in front of us.
I'm like, oh,
my
this guy's
cousin
gonna
Ethan.
raise-
This guy's Brendan, this guy right here. Walpole.
Nice,
Walpole
nice.
guy. Hyde Park originally.
He's a cop.
OHB.
though. He's a cop.
Wait, Matt Clough's brother, right?
He's not. He's
Yeah,
not.
Matt Clough's brother.
I recognize you from the pictures.
Hey, real
Yeah.
quick, I don't know if you're still doing commercials. You still doing
Sure.
ads?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So this isn't one of my characters, but I'm out visiting Ethan's brother Matt, who your buddies with,
Yep.
Brendan. So I'm out he lives in Santa Monica now, and I went out to see him a few months. This was like actually almost like a year ago. Anyway, I'm walking out of his place, and I'm like, I got a little buzz on. And he's like, Matt's telling me, he's like, Santa Monica is pretty safe, He's like, but there's some homeless and stuff, but you don't need to worry about it. It's fine. So I'm like, all right. So I'm walking back because Matt lives in a fucking shoebox. Like it's tiny, dude. It's like I could have something in the kitchen full. That'd be it. But it's small. So anyway, I stayed in a hotel. I'm just down the street. I'm walking down the street, and I see this black homeless guy, and he could have been 20 or 80, I don't know, but it's one of those, like, you can't really tell.
It was Delonte West.
Yeah, fuck. So I'm walking towards him, and I'm like, you know what? I get a little buzz on, so I'm like, I'm gonna stare this motherfucker down. I'm just gonna fucking stare him down. I mean, I'm decent sized guy,
Yeah.
like. So I stared at him. I came up on him, and I fucking stared this motherfucker down, and he goes, what the fuck your problem, motherfucker? And I
As he
just
should.
kept walking.
Yeah.
I almost ran,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to look like a huge pussy.
Yeah.
He didn't say motherfucker. He said the N word. I don't know if he can even say
No,
that,
you
right?
can't say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. But what
So
the fuck's your problem, motherfucker? Scared the shit out of me.
You tightened up and just kept
Oh my
walking.
God.
He gave you the reverse Uno card.
He did.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, you don't want. I mean, listen. You know what the thing is about fighting a homeless dude? I've always said this. This is why you can't do. They got nothing. They literally have nothing to lose.
No,
like they got
It's
nothing.
lose-lose
like
for
they
you.
got nothing.
Yeah, it's lose-lose
Yeah.
for you.
Like you know how they say that? Like he's got nothing to lose. Like this guy literally has nothing. To lose,
And what,
you know what I mean?
and what do you get out of winning?
Nothing.
Not well, you
nothing.
could be like,
No.
yeah, I beat the bag out of that
Yeah,
fucking homeless guy.
maybe your hands smell like shit.
I got a quick little something for the table, right? So when you go to a different city, I would never do what you do because like the homeless, like I know Boston homeless. For whatever reason, like they don't bother me. I know what to expect. I know what to deal with. When I
We were like doing a draft like of like homeless people, like be like, boss is soft.
Boston homeless.
I wouldn't say they're soft, but like if you've ever seen LA,
But
if
you
you've
know
ever seen-
them.
Yeah.
You know you're comfortable with them.
I know exactly what to expect. Even like when Denver is a soft city. I don't care what
I would
anyone says.
draft. I would draft Vegas homeless #1 every single time because they live in those tunnels. Dude, you ever see the Vegas tunnels?
Anything past New England is the
Go
Wild
to
West.
YouTube and type in Vegas tunnels. The mole people in Vegas. Woo.
Mole people.
What
All
type
right.
of rabbit holes do you go down?
Dude, I don't fuck around with YouTube.
The Denver homeless. I went there during remember like Occupy Wall Street?
Yeah.
I went there during that, and that's when people. That was like the cool thing to do was to like sleep on the street. And my brother was like, "You just gotta realize that these aren't real people." And I was like, "That's a little fucking rude."
Yeah, how
know?
dare you?
And he's like, "No," he's like, "I'm trying to tell you." He's like, "They're gonna ask you for money, and then you're gonna say no, and they're gonna say, well, thank you anyway." And that happened day one. And I was like, "These are the nicest homeless people on earth." At night, totally different people.
Knife to your throat.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Buddy, I'm not from around here." And they're like, "Oh, go Tom Brady." I'm like, "Yeah, go fuck yourself, dude."
I gotta tell you, so Denver, the homeless, it's out of hand.
Through the roof.
Like the city smells because there's so many like smelly
Well,
homeless.
like the T station, like the buses and shit, it's
Yeah.
all free. So they live there.
Yeah, it's
It's
no
an
good.
all an honor system in
But
Denver.
just
It's fucked up.
real quick, getting back to my cousin Matt out in Santa Monica. So he used to come across this homeless guy when he came out of the bar a lot. Same guy a lot. And one night he's like, I'm all, got a good buzz on. I see this guy. I'm like, I give the guy 20. I gave the guy $20. Good fuck. He's good. Guy seems like a nice guy. He needs a little help. I gave him $20. He goes, I haven't seen this guy in 6 months. I don't see him for 6 months. I see him again. I'm like, hey, he's like, hey, what's up, Fitzy? Like, I'm not sure. He's not really Fitzy, but you know what I mean. Hey, Fitzy. It's kind of like you.
Says, where's my 20?
He gave him back the 20.
No.
That Matt gave him. He was like,
No way.
I swear to God, he's like, he's like, I don't need this. Imagine that. This fucking bum gave him back the 20. He gave him like 6 months before
That's
that.
wild.
He gave him the 20 back.
That's fucking wild.
If Matt had any balls, he'd be like, "There's interest on this."
Yeah.
I'm hoping that when I press this button, Clocky's voice plays over the speakers.
Okay.
You don't have to put the headphones on.
Okay.
I hope this works. If not, I'm gonna have to plug it in later.
Voicemails.
Fellas, what's happening? It's been a minute. I just talked to.
Can't hear it great.
It's not loud.
All right, you know what we'll do? I'll plug it in
We'll
later.
plug it in, yeah. We'll plug it in later.
It's an epic.
What do we got for
voicemail.
ads?
Tedco, TedcoCM.com. Listen, get in bed with Ted. We've talked about it a million times. I don't have the phone number on me right now because I don't have the internet. Okay, but if you find them at Tedco CM, you want to do your addition? Fitzy just had him over his house.
Yeah, he did.
Looking at getting an addition done. He's not going to take his kids to Disney because he's a shitty parent, but he's going to get an addition done so he can fucking hang out. Talk to Ted, and then we got Bellas.
Bella's, as you know, 1211 Osgood Street, North Andover. A lot of these Dorchester guys, you don't have roast beef over here.
No, we have no
Take the trip.
roast
Take
beef.
the trip. Head up to 95 to 495. Go see Harry.
your
Go see
passport.
Sandra. It's the best in the game. I don't care what anyone says. You can have your own opinion, but it's wrong. All right? Harry's, bellasna.com. And it's not just beef. We already know that. We love the salads. They can have tap water. It's through the roof. It doesn't matter. They're fucking bomb. Harry, I love you.
Dude, you know what's funny is like, like we were saying, like Josh and I were saying, like we obviously Melrose is less of a city, so it wasn't like we had like crazy rag ass people, like you know what I mean. But like when I went to college in Vermont, like I became friends with these like Vermont dudes who were like from like the Northeast Kingdom. Like the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont is like up in the fucking. It's in the Northeast Kingdom. It's fucked, you know. So I went to my buddy's bachelor party, right? And it was like half college kids and half fucking Vermont loggers, basically, right? And his uncle was like telling this story, and his uncle was like, I was out on the fucking skidder. And he's like, he was a logger. He's like, I'm out there on the fucking skidder, and they tell you to go out as two, right? But I don't go fucking, I go out solo. When I fucking log, I'm solo. And he goes,
That's a
so I'm
crazy
out
move.
there.
It is.
And he goes, I'm fucking out there, and
Just dying.
fucking tree comes right down on me. Fuck. He goes, had to drive the thing back with my hands. My buddy goes, dude, I saw my uncle coming in with a skidder, and it was like, there was nobody driving it because the guy had to drive with his hands because he broke both his ankles at the legs. And he goes, and when I went to the doctor, he said to me, if you didn't have abnormal back muscles from fucking logging, you will be fucking dead. And I'm like, and then he like, all of a sudden he got in a log splitting contest with some other guy at the bachelor party. And they were like, I could fucking split it better. And I'm like, dude, these guys are fucking rad as fuck. Dude, I went with one of my buddies from my buddy Rudy. He takes us up to like Swanton, Vermont. Swanton, Vermont is like fucking, dude. And he goes, dude, they got the best pizza, the Swanton House of Pizza. Worst pizza in the world. Like the worst people to ever put a pizza together, Swanton House of Pizza, right? So he goes, we're gonna get my uncle's fucking ice fishing shanty. So we're out looking for his uncle's ice fishing shanty. It's the middle of the night. We're gonna do it overnight. So he goes, I'm like, dude, it's fucking 2 degrees out here. It's freezing. He goes, get in with these guys. These guys are from Swanton. I know they. Let me find the shanty. Do you stand there? These guys had NASCAR jackets on, dude. I'm talking 97. Like this is not now, right? Nice. And the kids goes, he looks at us. He goes, look at this. He goes, fucking pickerel. And I'm looking at it, right? And I'm like, oh yeah. Me and my buddy TJ, who's from Holyoke, and he goes, fucking pickerel.
Yeah.
He goes, I go, yeah. I'm like, it's a fish. What do you want me to? And he goes, where are you guys from? And I go, oh, he's from Holyoke. And I go, I'm from like right outside of Boston. He goes, fucking city boys, eh? Yeah. And I'm like, when is this kid coming back to get me out of this fucking shanty before I get raped? Like Deliverance in this fucking place. You know what I mean? Unbelievable.
Dude, I gotta tell you, I've been listening to the podcast, especially when I'm gonna come on. I listen to it more.
I like that. I like that about you.
Love the fucking honesty.
I want to prepare. I do a little due diligence, but before the comedy show, back in January, right? You were doing that fucking Dave Russo impersonation, and I didn't appreciate it. I didn't appreciate it until after the fact, dude. It's fucking unbelievable.
It is.
It's so good. It's so fucking spot on.
I was just with him Thursday doing a show, and it's like. Brendan can do a better Dave Russo than Dave Russo.
Dude, he called me. I think I've told this story on the podcast, but like he called me one day, and I'm like, why is this guy calling me? And he's like, I know he doesn't listen to the podcast, but I love Dave Russo. He's fucking hilarious. I love him. He's a great guy. So I'm like, finally, I called Danny. I'm like, Russo called me. He's like, dude, he wants you. I'm like, all right, I'll call him back. He tells me what he wants. So I'm sitting outside of Mall Catholic with my daughter, and I'm like, yo, and he's like, Brendan, let me, I want to bend your ear on an idea right now. He's like, I've been trying to get my podcast going, and I'm thinking I get you. Now listen, you got that garage out there, right? And I'm thinking,
called it a studio.
Yeah, he goes, you got that podcast studio out there, like I'm Joe Rogan, right? I'm like, it's actually just my garage. He's like, you got that studio over there. I'm thinking I come over once a week, you produce it. Like, I'm like, this is the worst deal I've ever been offered, like, in my fucking life.
For $0.
For $0,
Yeah,
right?
he's like,
He goes, I got guys out
He's
in,
like, I'm not going to pay you anything.
I got a lot of ex-Bruins that want to come on. We're talking Zoom situation. And I'm like, honestly, Dave, like, my kids sometimes use the space. I'm like, I can show you how to use everything. So I go down that road. I go, hey, I can show you how to use everything. I can get you started. Then he goes,
Also, off-site.
Yeah. I'm like, I can show you how to use everything. And then he goes, but I mean, if you actually wanted to produce it, like, we could do it that way. And I'm like, no. And then we do the comedy show, and he goes, You know, I've been thinking a lot of what we talked about, like you producing my podcast. So I'm like,
Dave smokes all the weed.
dude, great guy, fantastic guy, one of my favorite people in the world. There's a better chance of me growing a dick the size of the guy that beat up Josh's buddy than there is of fucking me producing Dave Russo's podcast.
I can't wait to
man.
actually
Dude,
get
he
that
was
reference.
He was unbelievable at that comedy show. Like so we did the show. We did the comedy show.
Yeah.
It was great night and everything. We're hanging out at the was it the members
Yeah.
lounge after?
Yeah.
And he just kept kind of buzzing by. Like he wouldn't really like hang out. He'd come in and say a couple things. He did a De Niro De Niro face that he does, which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's great.
But he wasn't like he just kept like circling like a shark, like tell a joke here, tell a joke there, like.
So
Yeah, he was
Dude,
character. He was character.
Remember when by the way, real quick, because we're not going to do a Patreon episode tonight, because we're going to wrap this up in a minute. But, dude, one of the funniest things is he comes in and does the show, and he was great, right? Like, he's very clear from the rip, like, this is the Dave Russo show tonight. Like, you listen to Dave Russo tell stories, which I'm good with. So then I'm like, we're going to do Patreon. You can hang out and stay if you want. He's like, I'm probably going to get out of here. So we start the Patreon, because I'm like, we got to start it. He's playing Golden Tee in my garage, just like doing that. He's like, let me tell you one more fucking story, actually, while we're at it. You know, fucking. Anyways, it's 1986. It's I'm wrestling at 164 weight.
he's never been that big in his life.
Dude, like, I mean, what a fucking dude. I tell you right now, though, you don't want to fight Dave Russo.
No, I agree. And so that night of the comedy show, I don't know if you remember, but Gilligan had to start because he had another show.
Yeah, he was great.
He was
hilarious. So he comes back to the members hall, and he's like, well, where are we going tonight?
Who did? Paul?
Gilligan. He told me he was, and I was like, if you don't come back, it's fine, you know? He comes back, and we end up at Mix 360. Now, you probably don't know what Mix 360 is, but
I don't.
It's a bowling alley / club / anybody that's ever got out of prison. So we go back there, and I'm 36, Sean O'Brien's 22, Dave
Lights
Russo.
out, by the way.
Deep-
He was fucking
he was
lights
great.
out.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
That
Sean's
that
a fucking riot.
That kid's a
the man.
fucking like the real deal.
He's hilarious.
That
good.
kid's a talent. That
He really is, yeah.
I hope it works out for him.
Yeah.
He's real good at it.
He is good.
Dave is 50,
More.
okay, and Gilligan's older than him. And it's us four at a nightclub for 21-year-olds. And Russo's like, well, back in the day, I was a pretty good breakdancer. And he just starts breakdancing. And no one
way.
cared.
Did he?
And no one cared.
No.
Oh, I swear to God.
Dude, I went up to Paul Gilligan afterwards, and I was like, "Hey, we'd love to have you on the podcast." He was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I speak Boston too, which
Yeah,
means
he's
go
like-
fucking suck
he's
your
like,
own
nah.
dick." Like, I don't want to come on your fucking podcast.
I
nah,
bet
I'm
you
good.
would. If I reach out to
Well,
him,
I'm not
like,
gonna suck the guy's dick to do it.
No,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
$10.
Come on,
You know what I mean?
come on.
For $10.
Wait, I mean, why he wouldn't.
I'll
Why
do
wouldn't he want
50.
to come on this way? Come in.
No, maybe he did. I'm just being.
Brendan, I don't know if you know, Brendan's got a side hustle.
Yeah.
His side hustle is selling his
Sucking dick.
ass
Yeah, at
for
Walmart.
Gamecocks
At Walmart. Yeah.
He's like Queer Bill.
payments.
Yeah.
okay, before we shut this down, can I talk about one more character?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so there was this guy, and I'll say his name. I don't even know if he's alive or not, but his name's Larry Long.
Great name.
It's one of those names that's a first and last name.
Yeah.
I was always Danny Gillis, always.
Oh, yeah.
I'm with John, and Danny Gillis. How the fuck
Dude,
did
I
that
like
work?
people with two names, like Jeff Clough is a two-name
Jeff
person.
Clough, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
Jeff
good point.
Clough's
Matt Clough is every
Yeah.
Clough is a two-name person.
You finish it.
So Larry Long is a career criminal, loved prison, right? But when he was around you, he was a nice guy. He'd booze up a little bit, and then he'd rob your house.
Good friend.
And when I say he would rob your house, like they didn't, like he was quick as lightning. He'd come back the next day and try to help you find shit. He's like,
Dude.
damn, someone broke into your house?
Yeah.
How the fuck that happened? And you're like, dude, Larry, they saw you across the street. He's like, nah, you didn't see me. Those days are over. And then, like, the lady would come out, she'd be like, Larry, you're wearing the same exact outfit as last night. And he's like, all right, put me in cuffs. Go it.
He's wearing your clothes.
Yeah.
You're like, those are my
I'm
fucking
like,
clothes.
dude, those are my Jabos, bro. But Larry Long would go in and out of prison 2 years at a time, always Bill Rick House of Corrections, maybe sometime in state or whatever. But, like, for whatever reason, he'd come out, you knew he would rob your house, or at least attempt to, and he'd be like, it's cool. Everyone still loves me. He had a big smile on his face. Black
shit.
Black is days long. He's the funniest fucking guy.
Yeah, he's a thief, but he's good shit.
And he's like, all right, yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Black as the day is long. What a fucking expression. Black as the day is long.
I couldn't think of a good one without sounding like a complete fucking racist piece of shit.
Did we do Bella's?
Yeah.
Yes, we did Bellas.
Okay.
All right, listen, we're gonna wrap it up.
Larry Long.
Jeff, thank you very much.
Hey,
So
guys,
we're
this
gonna
is
do
one
another
of my
comedy event soon. You're gonna do it again, right?
Oh, if you have me. So I gotta tell you,
If you have anything else, we have time.
I hadn't done a comedy show, but I
told me
told
20
you guys
years, right?
before that, it was like 10 years.
Yeah.
So getting up there and doing it, like it was, I loved it. It was great. Like crowd. I mean, that was a fucking maybe the biggest crowd I've ever been in front of.
Dude, you crushed it.
Honestly,
Crushed it.
Thank,
Crushed it,
well,
too.
thanks. I'm not looking for that, but I mean, I know he did. But I love that you guys are like, oh, he fucking really slow played the crowd there at the beginning. Like he really lulled them to sleep. Like I was like, did I? I don't know. But as I was doing it, as I was standing up there, like doing my opening couple of minutes, I was like, I mean, I knew it wasn't like A+ material.
Yeah.
But I was like, wow, these aren't landing at all. These jokes really aren't
Wait,
fucking it.
so
I
that
thought you were
wasn't on
purposely
purpose?
doing it.
So, I want to say, I'd love to say like I scripted it that way. I knew that it was going to be easy. Like, I wasn't going to be like killing it at the beginning. I figured it was going to be like, a little soft. I was just, self-deprecating,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But I knew I had the couch thing at the. I knew what was going to happen then. Yeah. I knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I also didn't expect no laugh. I was like, oh shit! I thought it'd be like a couple like, ha ha. I thought your mother would be like, yay! By the way, I had to ask Brendan before we started. I'm like, hey, are your parents okay if I fucking like make a do
Fucking
Yeah.
couch.
May do a hate thing? I'm gonna fucking bring them into it. He's like, fucking go for it.
I was like, go for it. Don't hold anything back.
She was probably horrified, but I know that.
My mom was horrified by me. By the way, my mom real quick threw out the first pitch at the softball game yesterday for starting Melrose Youth Softball.
Oh yeah.
And my kids were like, why is she doing that? Because it was Addie's game. And I'm like, she paid him $300 to do it. That's why she's fucking doing it.
That's gonna be the new rule.
By the way, she can't hear shit, my mother now. I'm talking to her the game. Where's Dad? She goes,
I love a roast beef.
no, she goes, Celtics really laid an egg. And I'm like, where's Dad? Like, I'm like, get a hearing aid, lady. Like, Jesus Christ. You know what I
We're in
mean?
the same boat, Brennan. My daughter's prom was yesterday, and my father drops my mother off at the the kid that my daughter went to the prom with is a buddy of mine's son. Kids, Timmy Ryan, kids fucking aces. Anyway, we go there, we're taking pictures, doing all that stuff, right? My father's dropping her off, and my mom's can't hear shit either, right? They're old.
Yeah, they're old.
So anyway, she's getting out. I'm like, how's it going? She's like, your father is driving me fucking crazy. She said fucking too. I'm like, she said fucking crazy. I'm like, all right. Can you not talk to me about any of this? I don't want to know anything about this. I just want to go home. I like having my head in the sand. I want to know my parents are doing great. Just tell me you're doing great.
Yeah. That's the best part, though. Is like, that's the best, like, it's like when, when your mother's just like unloading on you about like some shit that you're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, my mother, like, I was
This didn't happen when I was a baby.
Yeah. My mother was like, because Addie, my daughter, she's like, why is Dan throwing out the first pitch? I'm like, just fucking accept it. That's your life. Because that's what my mother would be like, get a hold of yourself, pull yourself together. I've always told this story, but my sister like came home one day and she was like, this girl is fucking like riding me and like fucking with me. And my mother goes, you let some girl ruin your life? Get a hold of yourself, you pull yourself together now. My mother was just always like that. It was like, there was never like oh, I feel bad for you. It was like, you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna fucking pull yourself up right now. And my mother never swore, but like that was the tone. The tone of my house was like,
No, the swear was
like,
the point.
Yeah, the tone was
because
get
my
together.
mother, I always do it with this because my mother's finger was broken so many times pitching softball. But like her fingers are like literally like crooked as the fucking it's like it's a witch stick of fucking fingers. All right, listen, we had a blast. First of all, I think this might be the new place we do a live podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I fucking love it.
right.
Yeah.
Great bar.
Love it
Great
here.
bar.
Great sound, man. Jinty
My
on
spot.
sound. Great sound, man.
Great service.
Great
The,
service.
Bartenders
Great
are
Guinness. By the way,
unbelievable.
Guinness
Guinness is
is-
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Great hats. This fucking
Oh,
hat
by
is
the way,
fire.
I was gonna say this offline. I'm 100% buying that
Oh
hat
yeah,
right
you gotta
now.
buy it. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Like we're gonna be twins, and that's fine.
Yeah, this is the place for us. This is the place for us. All right, listen, we'll be back next week. Jeff, thank you very much. You're welcome
Thanks, guys.
anytime.
Dot's on.
Hey, I appreciate you
Anytime,
having me.
Dorchester Zone.
Appreciate you
Yeah.
having me. Thank you.
I was gonna ask you a
See you
bunch
guys
of.
at the golf tournament.
Oh
in a
yeah,
couple
golf
weeks,
tournament is, dude. Most people paid up. Everything's set. We're gonna get. Maggie's like, I was like, oh, we're going. I'm like, we'll be at the IA later that night. And she's like, I thought the after party was at Mount Hood. I'm like,
I'm saying
yeah,
this.
that double after party.
Yeah, we're veterans.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, I told Alicia and Steph are playing, and I got them partners. Two great corkers. I was like, I'm like, hey, listen, if you don't hear any English on some of the holes, it's just the Irish guys for the IA. She's like, Keith will have no shirt on by hole 5.
100%.
You know? All right, listen, we love you. We'll be back next week. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.